Hello, tribe, and welcome back to Dammie's Diaries. So, today we are switching things up and getting real. No filters, no fluff, just us, right? Just the truth vibes, then maybe a little bit of chaos. And I have got 10 questions, juicy, random, deep, and maybe even a little bit scandalous. And I have to answer them all. So, get ready, grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's dive in. So, question number one. What's a moment that totally changed your life, but no one really knows about? Okay, a moment that totally changed my life, but barely anyone knows about was when, we moved, I think around 7 or 8 months after we moved to Dubai. I was, deep in frustration. Like my enemy almost ran into depression, and every day looked like, the same: cleaning, doing school runs, and just, helping around in the home. I felt invisible, like I had so much in me, but nowhere to pour it. And one day I broke down, and I wasn't just crying, I was wailing to God, asking why I felt so stuck when I knew I was made for more. And in that moment, the Holy Spirit, gently reminded me and said, you have something in your hands, right? You're sowing your gift. And that was the seed. Seriously. That quiet, painful moment bettered Osalu. And it didn't feel dramatic at that time, but I would say it changed the entire trajectory of my life. And here we are. What started in that tears now, became a purpose. Yes, that's it. So question number two. Have you ever faked being okay when you were really breaking down, and what happened? Dun, dun. So have I ever faked being okay when I was, really breaking down, and what happened? Yeah, I feel like absolutely. Like I feel like it's almost normal as a growing business founder, especially, when you're also a mom, right? Life can flip in a second, and you have to be everything for everyone. But I remember one day in particular, a client order went horribly wrong, and I was in tears, like full on crying on the way to pick my kids from school. But, as I got closer, I had to wipe my face, pull myself together, and smiled like, nothing happened. We moved on like I wasn't just, breaking. I moved on like I wasn't just breaking down like a minute before. I was trying to, hold everything together, my family, my business, motherhood, and, silently, I felt like I was failing at all of it. But for me, I would say what usually saved me is, prayer and letting people in what I'm doing, so that I know that I'm not alone. And that sort of just, shift everything for me. Okay, question number three. What's one thing people always get wrong about you? Oh, this is juicy. Okay, okay. That I'm confident. Like I'm always confident. People assume that I wake up flawless, fearless, and ready to slay every day. Nah, sis. Some days I wake up questioning everything: my work, my what, my ideas, even whether I'm doing enough as a mom, as a wife, or an entrepreneur. But here's the truth: confidence isn't, about never doubting yourself. It's about choosing to show up anyway. Some of my best work came from days I didn't even feel like myself. I have just learned, how to walk through my fears, right? Without letting it shut me down. And that's just the truth. So no, confidence isn't something, I wake up with. It's something I walk into one bold step at a time. Guys, I haven't figured everything out. Question number 4. What's the pettiest thing you have ever done? Okay, listen. Dubai can, size you up real quick. Like before, some people even decide how to treat you. They're already scanning your outfit, your bag, your shoes, just to determine what level of respect you deserve. Can you no, can you believe that? So when I sense that someone is trying to be condescending, trust me, guys, especially in places, like restaurants or hotels, I can get really petty. Like I would match your energy because immediately you want to act funny. Like, okay, cool. I'll return it back to back with class and a little bit of extra spice. So sometimes, you just have to remind people nicely that respect isn't based on labels. People hardly get that. Question number 5. What's one perfect part of your life that's actually a hot mess behind the scene? Guys, it's my schedule on Instagram. It might look like I've mastered, time management, like I'm this super duper organized, early rising, to do list checking queen. Guys, behind the scene, I'm constantly, rescheduling, running late, juggling priorities. And, people say, Dammie, you've got it all figured out. Like, I'm like, no, guys, no. What? I haven't gotten anything figured out. I am just figuring it out daily. And here is the truth again. I have like a clear picture of my future self. I know what Dammie in 10 years looks like. Like she wakes up early, she exercises, she's flying out for work, walking into client meetings, living, a business life. So instead of just living in the chaos of now, I plan my days with her in mind, right? I'm just there. I'm not there yet. But I'm building the life she will be proud to walk in. So I haven't figured it all out, guys. I am work in progress. So question number 6. If you could relive one day from your past, good or bad, which will it be and why? Oh my god, this is so this is really so I would say two actually. The first is my wedding day. It was beautiful, everything I ever prayed for, but I was so stressed about the little things I didn't I didn't fully, soaked it all in. I would love to just, go back there, be present, breathe it all in, and, just enjoy my wedding. But still, saying yes to my husband was the best decision I ever made. And this month, we are celebrating our 17 years in marriage, and I am blessed to call him mine. Now, the second will be the first time I held Daniel in my hands, the first time I became a mom. That moment, shifted something in me forever. It was raw, it was overwhelming, and it was also the most beautiful experience of my life. I remember thinking, God is real. God is so good. If I could go back, I would just pause time just to relieve that joy and gratitude all over again. Okay. Question number 7. What's the weirdest DM you have ever received? Right? Okay. So So this one came through TikTok. I'm still, learning the app, just figuring out all the ins and outs, posting my content, minding my business, and boom, someone slide into my DM like, you should be my wife. And I'm like, sir, did you miss the part where I talked openly about my husband, my family, my whole life actually? So the transparency is there, but apparently that didn't matter to him. And I just felt social media will humble you. It will humble you and entertain you all at once. So that's my weirdest DM ever. Question number 8. If tomorrow you had to start all over, what's the first thing you would do differently? Okay, if I had to start all over tomorrow, the first thing I would do differently is stop waiting for things to be perfect, right? I I used to think I had to have the perfect setup, the perfect logo, the perfect timing, before launching anything. But honestly, perfection is a lie that delays purpose. Let me say that again. Perfection is a lie that delays purpose. I will start messy. I will be louder about who I am and what I carry. And I will trust my gut all the way than I did. I have, learned that clarity comes from doing, not just dreaming. So yeah, no more playing small, no more hiding behind almost ready. If I could start again, I would move with boldness from day one, period. Question number 9. If your life was a Netflix series, what would the plot twist be? Okay. What would the trust? Okay, so the truth is, people think I'm just a fashion designer with this calm, curated life, but the plot twist, I secretly want to become a talk show host. Yes, like full on spotlights, deep conversations, bold topics, the whole thing. And here's the unexpected part. I also dream of living in Singapore. The culture, the beauty, the intentionality of the city is been calling me, saying, Dammie, come, Dammie, come, Dammie, come. Oh, and of course, let's not forget, I absolutely see a book or two in my future. So this is the author baby. So we're just, scratching the surface right now. Yeah, that's it. So question number 10, the final question. If the world had to hear one thing from you today, what would you say? I'm going to say more than one thing. Guys, I'm really going to say more than one thing. You don't need permission to be powerful. Take up space, take that risk, and live the life you keep editing in your head. And I'm speaking to myself. Stop editing that life. Dream it. See the picture clearly and live it. Yes, I said it. Okay. Whew, that was a roller coaster, but I loved every minute of it, and I hope you guys did as well. So now it's your turn. Which questions do you have for me, or should I ask, the next guest on this channel? Drop it in the comments, and if you want a part 2, you never can tell. All right. You already know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, and show your girls some love. Love you, love you, love you. Love you for real. And bye for now.